Hey everybody, just waiting for a few people to get in here and we'll get talking. All right. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning. We actually have two. Let me get to the first one here that popped out, and that is for St. Landry Parish. This is right near LeBeau, so Stelly folk. You guys, you need to be aware of this, as this storm is probably producing hail very close to that area or in that area, as this now crosses over 49 toward Palmetto, LeBeau, Bayou Jack, and eventually like Rosa, Lemoyne, you're about to hit this as well. So if you are in that area right there, Beggs, Macklin, Palmetto, that's where this is headed. And it looks like this could have some hail, perhaps. Let's see what the warning says. Actually, let's just read that. They're going with quarter-size hail. A severe thunderstorm located near LeBeau or 7 miles west of Palmetto, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And one note I saw in the National Weather Service, what they were talking about, some of these storms may not have severe wind. It may not be 60 miles per hour, but since the ground is so saturated, you could see trees being pushed over by lighter winds because it is so incredibly wet out there. So let's see here. That is warning number one right now, moving toward LeBeau there. I believe that's Highway 10. Coming into 27 there, or 71. That's exit 27 if you're coming off of Interstate 49. And that is a pretty nasty looking hail core. Let me just do one thing here. Take a look at the storm properties here. 100% chance of hail up to 2 inches in diameter, probably melting a little as it comes down. But still, the possibility for quarter, maybe $50 or slightly larger sized hail is there with this. Please do give me any sort of reports you may have. I'm going to go to this other storm. Actually, whoops, let me take that off. Go to that other warning here. This one has a load of skits, is what we call them. Yeah, not seeing. I think this one is probably going to be more tied to a threat for that wind again that could be borderline there near 60 miles per hour. So this one is moving into western Beauregard and Vernon Parish. I'm hitting clear and it's not working because I wasn't doing it correctly. But this storm is moving toward the east-northeast, and we're seeing these new storms forming. These are the ones that are really tapping into that instability, and like we're seeing down here in St. Landry Parish, you get that threat for some hail. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 6. This one here out in Beauregard and Vernon until 5:30, so a little bit shorter fuse on that one. But look as you stretch out to the west what we have going on here. Let me put this in motion for you. And actually, first let me read this. This is the warning for the Beauregard and Vernon Parish storm. Severe thunderstorm located over Roganville or 8 miles west of Newton, Texas, moving east at 35 miles per hour. The hazard there is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Could impact DeRidder, Jasper, Newton, Kirbyville, Rosepine, Maryville, Bonweir, Burkeville, Nulano, Farsville, Magnolia Springs, Burr Ferry, Mount Union, Jamestown, Tulla, Roganville, Junction, Stringtown, Bleakwood, and Weirgate. And if you can tell me you've been to all those towns, man, you have seen a lot. Now, we have some big storms stretching out to the west. I'm going to put this in motion real quick, and you can see that we are seeing I think there was a little weird little kind of blip there where everything pulsed up on the Fort Johnson radar, but we do have these thunderstorms really intense out here. That's where we have that warning, and you can see that the training is setting up. Now, this could end up just south of Alexandria, but somewhere here in the southern half of our viewing area, we are going to see training thunderstorms that are going to create a big flooding problem and really cause some issues. Also got another update on that hailstorm for the cell in St. Landry Parish. I'm not going to read the technical stuff. Size on the hail is at least up to 1.25 inches, so that is $50 size. It looks like College Station to Leesville. That's where they're looking for that training shower and thunderstorm activity is a real strong axis of moisture and convergence and just really rich, dense, unstable air that is in place here. And to the south of that, we're seeing that as well. So that feeds into this, and we get these thunderstorms to just continue to regenerate. And these storms are going to continue to do that, it looks like, and move across the area. Now, let me go to the Shreveport radar. Whoops, there we go. Okay, Shreveport radar showing that north of this, we have more stratiform, light, moderate rain. There's going to be some thunder involved. You see here we got some flashes of lightning up in there, but you can just see the difference in the lightning there as you head to the south. Look at the rain, the lightning's really perking up here from 750 strikes about an hour ago up to 1,500 as these storms, again, from College Station through Livingston through Jasper. This is the route I take to see my daughter in college, and my goodness, it's an absolute nightmare right now. And then that comes across the border into Louisiana, where we have that one severe thunderstorm that is down there around LeBeau, and they have upped that hail core to possibly ping pong ball size headed into Palmetto. So let me go down into that storm, move it back down to this radar, and we'll take a look at this and just show you where the worst of this storm is. And I'll pause it. We don't need to loop it when we're in that close. Right now, ping pong ball-sized hail possible. Oh, my goodness, and I have a camera going in at LeBeau. Now, thankfully, it is not there to get hailed upon today, but it would be nice to kind of see what's going on. We have hail probably crossing 71, anywhere from just south of Big Cane near Rosa to LeBeau and then down toward Bolden. And this is heading right into Palmetto and then down the road, perhaps toward Bayou Current, Coon, Elba, Goodwood. Those areas could see this. Melville, let's put it in motion real quick and see what the trajectory on this thing is. Might stay just north of you. So this storm here, again, exhibiting the characteristics on radar of something that is going to have hail perhaps now up to ping pong ball sized, and that could cause some damage. So if you are in Palmetto, it's probably a little late to garage the cars, but you know, if you are just pulling into the house, yeah, I think you're going to probably be pulling into the covered parking anyway, because that is a nasty storm right there. Right over LeBeau right now, right there at Stellies. That is where this storm is, and that is heading on toward the east pretty quickly. So it's not going to last a crazy long time, but there could be a quick hit of some pretty big hail out of that one. Now, we have other storms out here. Not really seeing any lightning popping out of that one, but look at this severe storm out here in Texas as this crosses in. This is a big-time lightning producer. In fact, it makes it a little tough to see things. So I'll take a look at the velocity. I have not seen any sort of low-level rotation with these. So that is, even though we're under a tornado watch, I have not seen any signs of something that that could be producing a tornado, at least not yet. And hold on, I am going to send a quick call out to the family. Let's see. Just asking for LeBeau hail reports, because that my wife's mom, her whole family, they live down there. So we're gonna, if it hailed in that area, we are going to get that. We are going to get the reports out of here, because they all live right around there, and that is right under that real dense core that is crossing Highway 71 right now from Rosa down to Bolden and into LeBeau, heading toward Palmetto. And this storm, let me take a look actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that thing where I go in and do a vertical slice of this, because that way I can see how we are, if this storm is ascending, descending, if that hail core's falling out, if it's suspended up in the air. So let me go ahead and take a look at that. And this is, of course, a very technical thing, but it's something that has use. So we're going to take a look here, and I can kind of slide through that storm. And it looks to me like most of that hail core is down there pretty low. Now let me jump back a few minutes. Let me see where this was just a few minutes ago when it, whoops. Yeah, that was more aloft and a little more intense. So it looks like now, as we have gone a few minutes into the future, it didn't disappear, it just moved. But yeah, that storm, it looks like that hail core is a little less, and it is descending. So it looks like that's probably, hopefully, going to be decreasing in intensity here over the next little bit. So we'll go back to this. There is that storm. I'm going to take a peek at the Lake Charles radar just to see. And yeah, I mean, it's going to look the same here, because we're going to be up in the mid-levels, because this is kind of in a radar void out here. But moving right over Palmetto right now, you saw that update right there. That is where the hail would be. And they're talking about the core of that storm dropping out. So yes, hey, I was reading that right. How about that? Sometimes I feel good to get those words of affirmation. Not that they were saying that to me. It's just I saw that they were talking about it here in the chat. So could be ping pong ball sized hail falling out of this right now. It does seem like we would see a weakening trend with this, though. Now, as I look at this just out of our area, it looks like some hail could be moving into new roads as well. So getting some hail producers on that southern flank. I think the issue up to the north and out west is going to be more of a small hail and gusty wind issue. And then, of course, the torrential rainfall. Let's go ahead and see the rainfall rates over the last 1 hour here. Now that's the U.S. Let's see. Let's see the dual pole. Okay, so yellow. This is 3 hours. This is your 3 hour rain rates, and I will put this in motion. This is from the Fort Johnson radar site, and you can see that we are increasing these rates out here. Seeing those rates up over 2 inches in the last 3 hours, and I think we're probably seeing some 2-inch per hour rates starting to join the party out that way. And the heavier rainfall is starting to, it's pretty much across the entire area now where we're seeing some heavy rainfall. Some areas down south have not seen a ton just yet, but it is something we're going to be watching closely. Let me look at the 1 hour rates. Pausing that real quick. And yeah, this is your 1 hour rates now, and we have some of those yellow blips showing up there. So again, from that corridor, College Station to Livingston toward Leesville or just south of there around Rose Pine, that's where we're seeing at least half-inch per hour rates with some 2-inch per hour rates mixed in, and that's why we're seeing these flood warnings starting to come out here in Texas. And we have, of course, the severe thunderstorm warnings that are including our area. So please, again, get me those hail reports if you have them. Hold on one second. I don't know why my phone's acting weird. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just restart the whole thing because it seems like it doesn't want to send text messages, and that's not going to work. My own little IT department. I just restart everything. It's all I know how to do. So let's go back to the regular radar. This is your Doppler radar out of Fort Johnson. Big storm there over Palmetto. Let me zoom back in on that, and we can just take a closer peek at things. And yeah, let's see if we have any storm reports. Nothing showing up there just yet. So that storm right there is the one that we're watching most closely right now. Let me see on the hail swath. Yeah, that really pulsed up over LeBeau, over 49, and then heading into LeBeau toward Palmetto. This will update, and we'll see some more scary colors out that way. But that storm is now likely producing hail near Palmetto, maybe on the east side of Palmetto by now. So if you are in that area, that is where we currently have the strongest signal for hail. Again, could be some small hail falling near new roads. That storm has not been warned yet, and I don't think it's that terribly close to seeing that kind of hail. But let's go look at the big picture. Let's hit play, go back for the last hour and show you what's going on. Had one wave come through here. My house got 0.29 inches of rain. Have not seen 2 inches of rain yet, and that's good because we have these storms out here that are continuing to develop and really move across the same areas. I hate how it had that little pulse up like that. It makes the whole thing look weird. It's not strengthening and weakening like it was showing there, but we are seeing on the Lake Charles radar maybe a better representation of this. Those thunderstorms are okay. So we have a little boundary here. You can see these elements coming in from the south. That's going to feed over top of the boundary, and there's going to be kind of a battle of that southerly flow feeding moisture and instability into this, and then we're going to see that boundary just kind of, it's going to not allow it to move that much. And then we have the southwesterly flow aloft. It's just going to keep this moisture pumping in, and we are going to have some big time rain and thunderstorms, it looks like, not only right now, but through the evening and into the overnight. So we have a lot of water yet to come. Let me go ahead and take a peek over at the show here, and I'll show you the excessive rainfall forecast. This is, that was a quick peek of the sky cam. Here's your high risk. This is the highest risk for flash flooding, and honestly, I think the highest risk is going to be here in the southern half of Vernon Parish, southwestern Rapides, into parts of Allen and all of Beauregard Parish. I think it's going to just be nudged ever so slightly south of where it is here, but a pretty good representation of things. And everywhere in this area, in this red, even in the yellow, it's going to be raining a lot, and we're going to have some flooding issues, of course, as well to go along with that. All right, now I'm going to see if I can get some hail reports. Severe thunderstorm watch out to the west was canceled, so that's good. That means we're not seeing new big development out that way, it looks like. But we still have this tornado watch that extends all the way from Alexandria, Opelousas, New Iberia, Lafayette, back through Lake Charles and Houston. Again, fortunately, have not seen anything just yet with all that. Let me try again. Alrighty. Okay, so that storm continues down there, moving out of our area in St. Landry Parish, and you can see that hail core. Looks like it did fall out. It's you get that big updraft that comes up. It's ascending. It's suspending all that hail in the air, and then it falls out. And sometimes we'll get these to cycle and continue for a long time. But in this case, pretty brief there. It just went up for about probably 15 minutes, and it looks like that's down to probably just some small hail at this point. But it does look like now we have a flood warning, our first of many. Large quantity of small hail in Grand Prairie. Let me go ahead and I'm going to read you the text on this flood warning. Flash flood warning for northeastern Allen Parish, northern Beauregard, Vernon Parish, and west central Louisiana and northeastern Newton County in Texas. Doppler radar indicated storms with heavy rain in the warned area. Additional rainfall amounts of 2 to 4 inches are possible in the warned area, maybe even more. Flash flooding is ongoing and are expected to begin shortly. And of course, all the typical turn around, don't drown, be careful, use your noodle, be safe out there if you have to travel. This includes DeRidder, Oakdale, Leesville, Oberlin, Rose Pine, Maryville, Anacoco, Elizabeth, Fort Johnson, Sugartown, Pitkin, Slagle, Dry Creek, Mitty, Singer, Grant, New Llano, Hornbeck, Cravens, and Fullerton. So big area covered by this flash flood warning, and it looks like we will see more flood warnings through the evening. Have that severe thunderstorm warning out here attached to this storm as it moves in. We've already seen those rainfall rates pop up to about 2 inches per hour. We have this little hailer that is now moving into Point Coupee Parish, and our first surge of showers now crossing the Mississippi River. I was just home. I was going to say the Missouri River. No, this is the Mississippi. You are back in Louisiana, Nick. So, yeah, okay, the phone is working again. That's good. But yeah, flood warnings now in effect. There will be more as this rain continues to move across the area. Rain gauge in Anacoco showing 1.5. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Let me see. No, I mean, we're seeing, yeah, there's still the tornado watch, so I'm still looking for this. I'm still looking for that potential. But I don't so far see any significant rotation in these storms. I think the isolated severe wind, perhaps on that southern flank, some severe hail is possible. I wouldn't be surprised to see us get some reports, maybe of even up to golf ball size hail out of that as it moved through LeBeau and toward Palmetto. Yep, no reports yet from the family, but I'm sure we will get those, and I'll get pictures out if I do get that. So there is your heavy rain training across, and the thought process on these warnings now, the potential for training storms now moving across the Sabine River Basin into Louisiana, trying to get ahead of things, and they issued that base flash flood warning for parts of Vernon, Beauregard, and Allen Parish. Very, very smart move here, just to get the word out and get that warning in place because, you know, if I issue you a tornado warning after the tornado touchdown, I mean, of course, we need to get that message out. But, you know, issuing a warning as the threat is imminent as opposed to has already occurred is a great move for them. So this flood warning does not necessarily mean we're seeing big-time flooding just yet. But with these storms training out of the west, we are going to see that flooding problem really grow here over the next couple of hours and into the evening and overnight. You know what I'm going to do is take a look, because we've seen this radar here for about 100 years in a row. I'm going to go back over to the show and show you the latest HRRR, which that is our high-resolution model. And I'm just going to step you through this, and we're going to see what we have coming. You see that big old cell coming out of Texas. So we're starting to see this. Now this is initializing a little bit better. It's showing those storms a little further north. So let's see what we get out of this. And this is, I have not seen this yet, but it looks like per this model, it wants to keep that very heavy stuff in the evening in our southern tier of parishes. So that would be Beauregard, Allen, St. Landry, I'm going to get there, Evangeline, and maybe even southern Vernon, southern Rapides as well. And then, you see more activity developing on that backside, just kind of on that back fringe, just continuing to fill in. And man, my goodness, it just does not want to quit. So by tomorrow morning, again, we get a little bit of a lull in here, and we see that break in the showers and thunderstorms. And then tomorrow afternoon, especially over the southeastern half of the area, that's when we'll see another round of thunderstorms develop. And we'll be watching that very closely. Here's your radar loop one more time. Probably stop, jump away for a bit here, get a drink of water, all that good stuff, and then we'll come back live a little bit later. But we have one ongoing warning. And they've canceled the warning there for St. Landry Parish. We have that warning in place still for southwestern Vernon and parts of Beauregard Parish, northwestern Beauregard, and the flood warnings, which I think we'll see more of again through the evening. Especially, let me just show you the most likely area to get future flood warnings here. So we've got this one right here. So if it's tough to see, there's your flood warning, roughly like that. So I think we're going to see flood warnings probably expanded to include, and Alexandria might get in on this, but this is the worst of it. As you can see here, when I put it in motion, you can see these storms that are kind of backfilling to the west, and they're just going to continue to push across this area. Still some moderate rain, occasionally heavy rain to the north of that, but the worst, these real big, ugly storms with all the lightning and craziness, that's going to be moving through this area. Now, that could pull a little further north, but I think the way I'm seeing the trends going now, the heaviest of this is going to be just south of Alexandria, probably near Leesville to Woodworth, Marksville, and then down here, including the rest of this circle. But south of that line is where it looks like the worst of this is going to set up. So I'm going to take a break here, take a look at some stuff, see how things are breaking down and all that good stuff, and I will come back on live whenever I see something worth talking about. Stay safe, stay inside if you can, and hopefully the severe threat because of all this rain that's coming in early is going to be a little bit lower, but there still is that severe thunderstorm threat, and there still is a tornado watch for the southern half of the area until about 10 o'clock. And yes, no imminent tornadoes, haven't seen anything crazy yet. Natchitoches, the northern parts of the area, you're going to see mostly just moderate to heavy rain, probably more like 1 to 3 inches as opposed to south of you where you'll see more like 3 to 6 inches with isolated areas seeing up to 10 inches. All right, I'm going to get out of here. We'll be back in a bit.